I gotta make a video about this. Jared King, suck my fucking dick, asswipe. ENTPs have a tendency to be brutally honest, so what? You're gonna say some bullshit? America is the most politically and economically stable nation on the planet. I don't think that's really true, but... And yet it is the most obese and least happy nation amongst developed countries, and due to the fact that we understand that these people who are obese, those people who are obese have a tendency to lack self-control. What does this say about the gluttonous American culture that supports Trump? Do Trump supporters support his obesity? Do Trump supporters have the ability to look at the fact that the number one cause of death for Americans is heart disease? How many Trump supporters are not overweight or obese? If a Trump supporter is not overweight or obese, why would they support his gluttony as an example for making America great again? If you are an ENTP, then you're absolute bottom of the barrel. I mean, like, there's no good arguments here at all. You're a fucking idiot. And here's my response and comments. You are such an asswipe. Your arbitrary body preference is not a value. It's an expression of your own shittiness. Your health justifications are just bullshit you spit in an attempt to give your presumption a sheen of legitimacy. I think being a stupid cunt is actually bad, so I'm shaming you for it. You have a distaste for larger bodies, so you present your preference as though it were an actual normative concern and attempt to shame others for their being. In contrast, because you are a stupid cunt who is actually failing normally, my shaming of you is actually legitimate. What's that smelly residue? Appropriately, that's the ashes of your dignity, now that I'm done obliterating you in this comment. Okay. It's all fucking communitarianism. It's a bunch of fucking communitarian bullshit. You have a body. Worry about that one. Okay? Heart disease is the number one cause of death. People are gonna die of something. Fucktard. So what? So the fuck what? Are we trying to keep everybody alive forever? Why? People who don't like fat people are desperate to engage in this fucking despicable, self-righteous, knowing what's best for other people stuff. If somebody's fat and they hate Trump as much as you do, which of those subjective fucking metrics do you prioritize? Are you with the fat Democrat, or are you... I agree Trump is terrible. Look, I mean, he is terrible. There's no doubt about that. But he's not... And he's worse than other presidents, substantially. I'm not disputing that either. I mean, he's equivalent to George W. Bush, who was also fucking awful. It just so happens, though, those two Republicans get called out there. I mean, JFK was fucking awful. People think he was a good president, and I have no idea why. Lyndon Johnson was fucking awful, another Democrat. Nixon was awful. Ford was awful. Carter was awful. Reagan was awful. Reagan was bad. It wasn't awful. Keeping in mind that we're talking about relative comparisons, not absolute. So you might say he was atrocious on some sort of absolute vector, but we're comparing between presidents here. Clinton was good. Clinton was pretty good. One of our better presidents. Obama was shitty. George W. Bush was a fucking nightmare. Trump is more offensive than he is bad, actually. Like, he's implemented some fucking stupid ass ideas for sure. There's no doubt about that. Some of them are stupid as fuck. His weird obsession with immigration is weird. Like, why would you separate the children from the parents? What a fucking optical nightmare. And besides that, I mean, have a little compassion or something, right? I mean, I know it's funny to me because I'm not part of any of that shit, but I would never do anything like that. It's like, oh my god. You fucking moron. The thing that the reason he's so offensive is that he's the world's biggest liar. You know? Well, I mean, that we get to know so many of his lies. This guy's a huge liar too. Like, positioning his shit like this. Oh my god, Jared King. I'm so happy to just fucking throw you into the woodshedder. You asked this question: do Trump supporters support his obesity? If somebody's genuinely obese and this guy doesn't think people, he's not referring to only genuinely obese people who like can't get around because they're too fat, you know, who actually have a overeating problem or something. Most fat people do not overeat. The vast majority of them don't. Most people that I hang out with or know or go to dinner with or something are fatter than me, and they all eat less than me. The reality is your weight has almost everything to do with genetics and almost nothing to do with your diet. It does have something to do with exercise. If you exercise a lot, you'll stay tighter a little bit, but your body shape is implicit to your being. We understand that those people who are obese have a tendency to lack self-control. I mean, do they? Do we understand that? Who's we? Who's we? I'm not with you, that's for sure. America, we understand. What does this say about the gluttonous American culture that supports Trump? Nothing. It says a lot about you and what a worthless fucking cunt you are. Do Trump supporters support obesity? Who's going to support obesity? Actual obesity? Do they? Do some Trump supporters perhaps oppose your hate of fat people? Probably. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I oppose your hate of fat people. It's arbitrary and self-righteous and ugly as fuck. If a Trump supporter is not overweight or obese, why would they support his gluttony? So, okay, you asked the question if they supported his obesity, and then asked another question that assumes they support his gluttony. So are you in doubt on the question of his gluttony, whether they support his gluttony, but not in doubt? I mean, are you in doubt on the question of whether they support his obesity, but not in any doubt on the question of whether they support his gluttony? That's weird. You know they support his gluttony, but you need to ask whether they support his obesity. Is it possible they support his politics? I mean, I wonder. I mean, I don't, because his politics are unprincipled. Like you. I don't support you because you're unprincipled. And incredibly fucking bad at arguing. So, go to the ESFP group and hang out there where you belong. Fucking retard.